I think I might say something today, right? So team building, right? And these team building calls is really just to make sure that you understand it when you do want to take place into it, right? Maybe you're the person that's just maybe you're the person that's just the e-commerce person that's on here right now. Oh, my bad. Right. Maybe you're just the e-commerce person on here, right? Maybe you're the person that's just the investor. Maybe you just want to build your portfolio. Maybe you're still figuring it out because it hasn't been a full year for you yet. And you're still like, yeah, I don't know what I like. I'm just putting myself in the right environment so I could continue to grow. And then I'm letting the chips fall where they fall. And I'm just getting better and better every single day. So if that's you, then continue to keep doing that, right? First thing I wanna talk about when it comes to this team building stuff is, the words are your seeds, right? And whatever words that you're putting out, right, is going to multiply and attract whatever it is that you're saying. So if you're saying anything negative, you're gonna multiply and attract that thing. Like I can't express that enough. So make sure that we're speaking the right things. As I said on Morning Elevation, I believe yesterday, feels like Wednesday today. Not sure why it feels like Wednesday, but it does. But I'm the words that we're speaking. Let's make sure that we're speaking the right things that we want to speak because we want to attract the right things in our life. This doesn't mean you got to attract the right people. Maybe you need to attract the right opportunities. Maybe you need to attract the right people to have conversations with. Maybe somebody's doing something else. Maybe somebody's doing something totally different, but y'all still have some type of alignment when y'all meeting up. Y'all still have some type of alignment. You could go out, have lunch with this person because they understand you. They understand you. You know what I mean? One thing I realized is building relationship with people in other industries. So maybe that real estate person, maybe you could pick that person's brain. You just never know who it is, right? And the second thing is somebody had pointed this out, and I forget who exactly pointed it out. I forget who exactly said this, but I think it was like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and it's something I've been working on now, right? Is the morning routine, but also the night routine, right? I think the night routine is what gets you ready for the next morning routine. So it's like that cycle. So now I've been working on that night routine, so shout out to whoever said that. I was like, man, I got to work on that night routine. I got to make sure that I got everything that I need. I got to make sure that I was listening to the right things. I got to make sure that everything is in order. I got to make sure that I'm ready for the next day. It's just really just being able to have that night routine. And that's very, very key. Right. And I want to let you know, right. That night routine, you might not think is because I know for years, at least for the last 2 years, all I've heard was morning routine. All I've heard was, what's your morning routine? What's your morning routine? So let this community right here, this community that we got right now, let this community be the community that sets the tone for the night routine. Right? Let this community be known for, I'm working on my night routine. I'm working on maybe I'm drinking water before I go straight to bed. I don't know, whatever it might be for you. Maybe you taking vitamins, whatever that might be. Maybe you working out maybe an hour before you about to hit the hay, whatever it might be. Maybe you're stretching. What Who knows? Maybe you're taking maybe you just want to take a hot steamy shower before you go to bed so your body could be relaxed. Whatever that is for you. Maybe you want to read, listen to that audio and go to sleep, do that. Right? So let this community be that nightly routine. Let us be able to go ahead and do that, right? So real quick in terms of this team building stuff, right? I know, shout out to Low for doing an amazing training the other day. He went over a lot of things. If you get that recording, you might want to study that this weekend. You might want to study that because he gave you a lot of tangible things that you can use, so shout out to him, because I'm going to be piggybacking off of, the things that he kind of went over, because that's super, super key. And he went over, and you guys got the screenshots in the chat. So you guys can go to the community chats, and you can go to media, and you can literally go in there and see the chart that he had laid out, How many of us remember? Drop a 5 in the chat if you were on that training with Low when he went over the 1 star to 5 star. Drop a 5 in the chat if you were on that. And if you did miss it, just drop a 3 in the chat. Maybe you didn't catch that one because you was doing something. Maybe you was busy, so you didn't catch that one. But drop a 5 if you did. Drop a 3 if you didn't. Okay, we got some 5s. We got a couple 3s. Definitely want to get that recording whenever we get off this call. Maybe want to shoot him a message and say, hey, is it possible if I can get that recording? I'm gonna probably watch that on the weekend, or I'm gonna probably watch that Friday night, whatever it might be. And you want to see what it looks like to have certain players in your business, right? So I guess since we do have some 3s on here, I'll briefly go through it. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it because that's not what I wanted to go ahead and do, but I'll briefly go over it so you could kind of know, the perspective of like, the 1 star, 2 star, 3 star. But if you grab that recording, you'll be able to have the perspective from that. So the 1 star is kind of like, or drop an 8 in the chat if you know something about sports. You like, yo, I know basketball, football. Like I know the basic stuff. If you don't know sports at all, just drop a 2 in the chat. Be like, yo, I don't understand what's going on. Like just drop a 2 in the chat if you're just like, yo, I just don't understand nothing. But if you understand just a basic knowledge, what's a touchdown, what's a when somebody scores a basket in the basket hoop. Okay, cool. So pretty much everybody here knows. Okay, but perfect. That makes things a lot more easier, right? So the 1 star is like a 1 star prospect, right? That person has no credibility, person that has no influence, the person that has no vision, right? Or lack vision, I would say, right? The person who don't really like listen, they kind of just do their own thing. That's the 1 star. And I like to think that, whatever I say, you're gonna figure out where you're at on this scale, right? And that's 2 star, right? I hope we taking notes and be able to give it to some people who weren't on the call. That 2 star is the person who shows up sometimes, right? They show once in a while, here and there, right? They got a low, medium skill set, right? Skill set not necessarily, there yet, but it's good enough. It's okay, right? This is their first time doing any business or something like that. It may be the person who's just like, yo, this is my first time doing something like this. This is my first time in a business. This is my first time, they called me a mentor after a few months, and then now I'm a mentor. Like this is their first time. They never knew what they was in. They never knew what they was doing, right? They don't produce like that, right? 2 stars, they don't really produce like that. They just missing a few things, right? But the beautiful thing about the 1 stars and the 2 stars is that they can always change. You don't just, how you come in is not how you stay in, as long as you work on yourself. So that's not, but I want you to understand that, and I want to throw this out there. The max, right? A 2 star can only hit platinum 600 though. Like I want to just throw those news out there, right? A 2 star, right? In terms of business, they only can hit P600, right? So you got to understand what type of player you are, right? Like I said, I'm going through this briefly. I'm not going to spend too much time in depth, but I'm giving you the basic perspectives, right? And then you got the 3 stars. These are people who hit platinum 1000, platinum 2000, right? They're naturally motivated, right? These are people who you don't have to call them up and motivate them. You don't have to call them up and say such and such. Like they just naturally they want to go get it, right? They naturally just say, yo, I'm going to get up. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do that, etc. Right? Then you got you got the 3 star who still, they got some sort of credibility. They got some sort of credibility. They have influence on social media. When they say something, people like, I kind of believe you. Like people they basically, in a nutshell, is like they got respect on their name. They don't got to tell people, yo, put some respect on my name. Like the 3 stars, they got respect on their name. That's why they got credibility on social media, because if they do say something on social media, people kind of listen. People take their word, and they just like, I bet I'll do it, right? But the thing about the 3 stars is that, sometimes they get a little rattled, right? They get a little rattled a little bit, right? They get a little rattled, right? Things that, like, if they blow their account, they be like, oh my God, my God, I just blew my account. Like they feel some type of way. They thought they was gonna get rich quick just because they got some ability, they got some skills, right? They struggle a little bit in the adversity area, right? So they got to keep going. They got a low amount of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is not necessarily there. They get in their feelings, they abort the mission sometimes, maybe if they're just like, man, I'm not doing any event because such and such is there. I'm not gonna do the event. So that's what those are the 3 stars, guys. Those are the 3 stars. Now the difference between a 2-star and a 3-star is clearly just influence. A 2-star doesn't have influence. That's all. 2-star just doesn't have influence. That's the only thing that separates a 2 and a 3, mostly, right? But 3 stars, the good thing about 3 stars is that they could produce, guys. 3 stars produce, right? They really believe, right? 3 stars, they interested in growth. They just like, yo, like they believe, like they got a good belief level, right? And then you got your 4 stars, right? Your 4 stars, these are the people who they set goals coming in right away. Nobody has to tell them to do it. They just really believe, guys. 4 stars are super confident, like very, very confident. They could talk that talk, they could walk that walk. Like 4 stars they're just a little bit different, right? They could produce other platinum 1000s. That's another thing that 4 stars can do. They can produce other platinum 1000s, right? Also, they're good in other areas in their life as well, right? They're good in other areas of business. They're good in other areas of they show up to every event. What else? They're committed to growth. I think I said that, right? They're committed to growth. They love others. And then 4 stars, obviously, you don't have to motivate them, right? Now, the thing about 4 stars, here's the like the weakness of a 4 star. They could get a big head. They could get a big head, right? They can let edification get to their head sometimes. All right, they'll start saying things like my team, and my team this, my team that, and it's okay, but we already know. I said it on my story, where pride is present, God is absent. I said that on my story today, right? Where pride is present, God is absent. So when it's too much pride that shows up, you just know that they not moving with a certain perspective, right? So sometimes they let that get to their head. Now, to go chairman, you need a lot of 3 stars on your team. Write that down. To go chairman, you need a lot of 3 stars on your team. And the reason why I'm telling you that is because as I went down 1, 2, and 3, and now I'm going to 4 now, I said you need a lot of 3 stars on your team to go chairman. Right? It's kind of like a basketball team. You need a person who's going to play defense. You need a person who's going to shoot. If you got a bunch of people who can score, 15 to 20 points a game, guess what's happening when they get into the game and you put them all together? They're going to average anywhere from 70 to 100 points a game, right? Because these guys know how to put up numbers, right? Now, 5 stars, typically 5 stars are your 7-figure earners, right? 5 stars are typically your 7-figure earners, right? These are like your Stephen Currys, your LeBron James, right? I'm just naming some basketball players that y'all might know. The Tom Brady's, right? For anybody, because some people don't know basketball. They're like, yo, I know LeBron, no Curry. Okay, cool. You got the LeBrons, right? You got the Tom Brady's, right? For football, for whoever don't know anything about basketball, right? But these are people that just, when you're at a 5-star, these people just naturally, people naturally just want to follow them because they're good. They're good at what they do. They put in work for a longer period of time. So people are like, yo, like I could follow this person. They've been putting in work. They've been putting in work for some time. Now, check this out. I don't know if you guys know if anybody know who Kobe Bryant is, drop an 8 in the chat. If you know who Kobe Bryant is, drop an 8 in the chat. Yeah, y'all better know who Kobe is. Some people don't though. Some people don't. So I just want to, right? All right, so you got Kobe right now. Kobe, what happened with Kobe is that he came, if you guys don't know, Kobe came straight out of high school, straight to the NBA. He didn't go to college. For those who don't know, he went straight out of high school, straight into the pros. Right. For I'm probably talking to most of the women on this call. They probably like, yo, I ain't even know he came straight out of 12th grade and went straight to the pros. Yeah, people could do that. People could do that. They could do that sometimes, right? So he went straight to the pros right after 12th grade, right? He was that good. He was able to play with those people, right? But y'all good though. Y'all good, right? So he went in there and he was a 3-star prospect, right? He was a 3-star prospect. But the thing about Kobe is that he was a three-star prospect, but there was a few things he had to work on to become a 5-star prospect. What that was is leadership, right? His mindset, his skills. He worked on those 3 things, and that's why he's great today. That's why people call Kobe they call him a great leader. They say, yo, he has a great mindset. You ever heard the Mamba mentality? His skills has been able to help him grab defensive player of the year, all-star games, championships, basketball, right? And what he worked on, guys, he worked on his assists. He worked on his free throws. He worked on shooting. He worked on rebounds. He worked on those things. So when the person comes in as a 3-star prospect within our space, they just got to know how to prospect, present, promote over and over. They just keep working on those skills over and over and over. And guess what? This thing called time, right? Which things I must experience, right? Time, right? This thing called time helps you develop those over time, right? So when you are a 5-star player, right? When you're a 5-star player like Kobe, you start to attract other people. Now, check this out. I'm going to give you multiple examples of how you can attract certain people. You might think it's, you might not understand the perspective, but I'm going to give it to you, right? Kobe was on a certain basketball team. He was on the Lakers. What happened was he wasn't winning no championships. Next thing you know, he attracted somebody like Shaquille O'Neal, who's another 5-star prospect. Then he attracted a couple more 3-star prospects. He attracted a Derek Fisher, who was in between a 3 and a 4, right? He attracted a Karl Malone, who's a 4-star, potential 5-star prospect. He attracted a lot of 4 stars, 3 stars, 5-star prospects. And now he was able to win not only 1 championship, not only 2 championships, but around 5 to 6 championships, right? I believe he won over 3 championships, right? So, and just unlimited all-star games, right? So when you're a 5-star player and he modeled his game after Jordan, guys, you got to know that you got to model your game after somebody. Kobe modeled his game behind a lot of different people. But I'm just letting you know, you only can attract lower than what you are. So if you're a 5-star, you can attract 4 stars, 3 stars. If you're a 2-star, you can attract 1 stars. If you're a 3-star, you can attract 2 stars. But it doesn't mean that those people can't come in and get developed. Now, to wrap it all up, because I don't want to talk about this, I don't want to talk about the whole 1-star to 5-star. I'll give you one more. Tom Brady, he got drafted in the last round, guys. Tom Brady got drafted in the last round. He ran the slowest time when it came to running. He didn't measure up with the tangibles. He wasn't working out. He didn't fit the criteria, guys. He didn't fit the criteria at all, guys. Like, he was skinny. He had a baggy t-shirt. He was not athletic at all. And he got drafted as a 1-star prospect. A 1-star, meaning he had no skills. But he played behind for 2 years. For 2 years, guys, he didn't touch the field. He didn't touch the football field for 2 years, 2.5 years. Somebody named Drew Bledsoe, I know you guys don't know who that is, but that was the quarterback at the time for the Patriots, right? He actually, right, the guy from the Patriots, Drew, he got hurt. Tom Brady came in. And Tom Brady stayed in. And then Tom Brady got 6 championships. He got developed in the system, right? Tom Brady got developed in the system, but guess what? No action for 2 years, meaning like he was on the team, but he wasn't doing nothing for 2 years. So sometimes you might, like, for anybody who's new on here, you might be in for 3-4 months and you're like, dang, I haven't really seen the results. Imagine being Tom Brady, not seeing results for 2 years. right? So you still, if you get results within your first 2 years, you're still in the ball game. You're still in the ball game, right? So now let's go straight into to what we're going to talk about. I'm glad that we got that recap going. But guys, the business focus points, right? And I said this on Morning Elevation. I hope that you guys take this and I'm going to add more to it, right? I'm going to add more to it. Number one, right? Number one is product production. You have to leverage a system. So if you know there's a call at 7 p.m., if you know there's a call at 9 p.m., you got to write that thing down. It got to be programmed in your head to the point where you just like a new student can hop on an ECX call, an e-commerce call and be like, hey, check it out. Whether you like it or not, check it out. Workshop style, right? If there's a social media call like we had today at 4 p.m., that's free. Hey, I know me and you talked about social media. Hop on a free workshop called social media at 4 p.m. They're having another one tomorrow. Right? With a guy named Kel. Kel has 7 million followers on TikTok. So we're not telling you it's a different product, guys. It's a different service. Everybody needs social media. Every business needs social media. If you know somebody who does taxes, they might want to get on that call because they can use that to help grow their business. If you know somebody who does gaming, they can use that to go ahead and help build their business. All we want to do is use a service to help somebody grow what they want to grow already, help them make money off social media, et cetera, et cetera. Guys, my reels, right? I got paid from Instagram reels. If you're just like, yo, see John, he posts a lot of content. Guys, they paid me 100 and some bucks just to post reels every month. That pays for my subscription, guys. Like, what if I told you, you ain't even gotta we ain't even telling you to build the business. We just telling you to do social media to take care of your subscription. Right? You got somebody like Chaz, you got somebody like Low, you got somebody like AB. These guys are going crazy on TikTok, Instagram, and they're showing people on a daily basis how to go get it. Guys, I don't make under $150 with reels every single month. That's why I'm going to be on Instagram, and I'm going to continue to be on Instagram because they're not paying me no less than 150. I got a notification that said you got paid by Meta, and I forgot that Meta is Facebook, and I forgot that they're connected with Instagram, so I got paid through them. I thought I was getting hacked at first. But they sent the notification and I was like, wow, that's crazy. I got paid for that. So keep doing reels until they give you that option to start making money from reels. Because at first I wasn't making money from reels. I seen Low, I seen Chaz, I seen a bunch of other people making money off reels. And I was like, yo, they haven't sent me the notification yet. And then one day they sent me the notification. I was like, oh, it's a wrap. We getting paid. Well, I'm gonna get your bag off that. Right? So product production, I want to leverage systems. Guys, you can't build wealth without systems. You can't build wealth without leveraging systems. Right? So make sure that the newest person comes in, they understand the perspective. Okay, we have Zoom calls, right? We also have the go lives. You have to go through the academy. You have to go through the go lives, and then you pick a strategy. Simple. And then we have 2 different chats. We have an e-commerce chat. And then we have a trading floor chat, and then we also have a HQ, and then we got some other chats too, right? But it's a lot of engagement going on the trading floor, and it's a lot of engagement going on the e-commerce side, right? So just make sure you understand that. Number 2, right? Number 2, focus on leadership development, right? Leadership development, guys. You want to be able to duplicate what you're doing. Is what you're doing duplicatable? Can somebody brand new that may be against the fence, can somebody say, I could do what you're doing, bro? Sis, I could do what you're doing. Is what you're doing duplicatable, and can you teach it to somebody where it could be simple? Because the moment it's too much going on, they're not going to really understand it. But if you could figure out how to package what you have or what you've done, package it, make it simple, and show somebody, it's game time. It's game time, right? You want to think about, how can I impact more people doing less work? How can I impact more people doing less work? Social media, we already know that. Right? Maybe a welcome text. Maybe you build out your own welcome text. I'll probably make one this week so everybody can have a welcome text, and you guys could duplicate or add whatever I have, right? Just so you kind of have like a base, right? So here's how you know if you have a healthy business, right? Here's how you know if you have a healthy business, right? If you, check this out, if you always have to be there, you have a job. If you always have to be there, you have a job. Now, in the beginning, you're going to be there. In the beginning, you're going to be there. But when you start to build up some folks in your community, in your personal community, like, all right, but I got it. But check this out. Guess what I did when I came in? When I came in, I didn't come in with people. I didn't come in with students, but there were students there. So guess what? I knew there was a call going on that Wednesday, and I was like, I don't have to be there, but I can make sure that one of my students gets there. I made sure all my students was plugged in. I didn't wait for the group chat to update them. I personally sent that message out. When I have 4 students, I personally sent that message out. When I have 5 students, I was so anal about sending the message to my people. There were some people that was inactive, and I was still sending it to them. I was like, look, man, I think this the one. I think you need to get on. Yo, I don't even got my package. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. Get on. See what's going on. Some of them would get active after that. Yo, that's crazy. When they made that, told you, bro. Told you. I said, you know what I mean? So I'm letting you know, right? So understand that, right? Now I want you to understand this. Recruiting and building is 2 different things. Right? You got to build people up in this space. Right? I want you to really understand that. You got to build people up in this space. Because I know sometimes we say an affirmation, and including myself, I say successful people are joining my business every day. But do I really want the successful person to come in? Because that successful person might come with ego. But I love the process of building somebody up. Yes, it's tedious, but I love the process of being able to show somebody and give somebody an experience that this can actually work. We might want the hitter to come in. Yo, I know this person's going to go crazy. And it's like, yeah, but you don't know how fast they're going to catch ego. Because I'm not going to lie, when you build it super fast, it gets to your head. It gets to your head. It's like that. Like, yo, I really do that. I've seen it. I've seen it over and over. All right. So look at your business and understand that perspective. Now, number 3, marketing, branding, giving value, right? I need to be able to give value. Like, branding is your name. Like Mina went over it, right? Earlier today. You can't live in the shadows, guys. Because when I see somebody living in the shadows, I automatically know internally that's where they're living. Internal, they living in the shadows. So guess what? I know in the spiritual, they're in the shadows. So I know in the physical why they're in the shadows. I know exactly why. Because spiritually, they're in the shadows, meaning like, I don't believe it. I don't know if I can do it. I'm scared. And it hasn't even happened in the physical yet. So spiritually, mentally, that's taking place. I already know why they're not doing it in the physical. I already know. So don't live in the shadows, because I know mentally you may be living in the shadows, right? And that's just a perception, right? Remember this, perception drives performance. Perception drives performance. So if they're not really performing, they just don't have the right perception, nor do they have the right perspective. Right? Couple more things when building when building a business, any business. Money, the money, and I think Yaneli went over this too. Money just magnetizes your personal brand, guys. Now she didn't say that, but I'm telling you that money magnetizes your personal brand because the money that you start making, usually put it back into your brand. You usually start looking a little bit better. You usually start doing a few more things, and it's just a different ball game now. Because when you got money, you could do more things on your social media. It's like people could tell, right? People could tell, right? So most people put 70% of their time into the busy work, right? And shout out to Matt Rosa because he did a focus group with a few of us, and he talked about the busy work. He talked about the activity versus productivity, right? And he said draw a T chart, draw a T chart, right? And he said put activity and productivity, and by 8 p.m. I want you to list off everything that you did for productivity and what you did for activity. And I was like, man. And when you look at it every single day, you knew that you had to hold yourself accountable to do more productivity than activity because sometimes 70% of the time we'll do it. And when you get caught up in 70% of the time of the busy work, we go into this thing called micromanagement, right? You want to spend some time speaking to your coaches, your mentors. You want to spend some time, at least 50% of the time you want to be in contact with your coaches and mentors throughout the week. Because if you're in contact more with the person who you got to go help, then you are who the people who you're around. So like me, I'm calling 6-7 figure earners every single day, whether they pick up the phone or not. I'm texting them, because it's the energy, right? Because it's the energy. And then 30% of the time, people spend more time on productive when the ratio needs to change, right? The ratio needs to change. Now, check this out. 80% of everybody's day should be marketing and sales, to be honest with you. 80% marketing and sales. That means you break that up. If it's 80%, you could do 40 marketing, the other 40 sales. Right? Or better yet, 80% marketing and 20% and 80% marketing and sales. And I'll give you the other 20 in a second. But 80% marketing, why? Because I need to get in front of people. If people know who you are, you'll always have a business. If people know who you are, you'll always have a business. Don't be scared to tag one of the chairmen on your post. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared to tag somebody successful that got a blue check that you don't never think that they'll read. They'll watch your story. They'll like what you have going on. Don't be scared. Shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. All right, check this out. You gotta go ahead and market, but you gotta know who you're marketing to. Everybody has somebody that they're marketing to. Maybe you're the person who's into fitness. Maybe you're into the person who's into tech. Maybe you're just really into marketing and being funny, whoever it is. Check this out, Domino's, right? Domino's realized that, okay, Domino's was made for college students. I don't know if you guys know that. Domino's was made for college students, right? Drop a 5 in the chat if we know what Domino's is. Like the pizza place, do you guys know what Domino's is? If you don't, just drop a 3, because I know we got people all over the world here. So like we got people on the West Coast, we got South, East, like we got people all over. Okay, so all right, so everybody knows what Domino's is. All right, cool. So Domino's, their target audience was kids in college that smoke weed. That was their target audience. It was like, yeah, hot and red. And then next thing you know, not only did they do it, Little Caesars duplicated it too. But first it was Domino's. It was like, yo, we had this pizza down there in like 10, 15 minutes. Done. So they already knew we gonna stay open late because they gonna get the munchies, and then we gonna go ahead and just keep giving pizza to these folks. Then, right? They're like, yo, I got the munchies, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Then guess what? Little Caesars came and said, yo, we hot and ready. Give us about 3 minutes, and we had your drink there. 3 minutes, hot and ready. Like, yo, like, all right, Domino's, we could get Domino's, but like, if we don't have enough money because we spent our money on weed, guess what? We could go get Little Caesars. Because it was like, it's $5. So they already knew their target audience. They was just like, yo, like, let's put this by the college. We're going to market to college people, and this is it. Why you think, all right, check this out. Let me see something real quick, because I know not everybody did. Drop a 3 in the chat if you went to college. If you went to college. Drop a 3 in the chat if you went to college. Okay. Now check this out. I don't know if y'all paid attention like I did. When I went to college, if you dormed, they already had all the places that you could order from. Domino's was always there. Domino's was always downstairs for you to go ahead and, yo, call we won't call Domino's. They go to any dorm room, they giving out pamphlets like, yo, like if y'all need this, y'all, you know, and it had coupons on it too. So you might not have needed it right then and there, but let it be Friday night, you don't feel like doing nothing. You on that za, right? You on that za. You call up, like, yo, can I get, what you want, bro? What you want? Medium. Yeah, we're gonna get the medium on, and the person start asking, like, you want a large? Nah. We don't want, they start assuming they want a large automatic, like, you want a large? And it's like, nah, I'm medium. Let me get the special, bro. Like, I just want the special. I don't want what y'all looking to sell me. I want the special. Somebody said a large. Y'all crazy in the chat. You want, yeah, Chris, they used to say that. You want any wings with that? You want wings, bro? We might as well get wings, right? Yeah, we're gonna do the wings too. And it was good marketing, guys. That's why Domino's is still around, even through a pandemic. Domino's still around. They still around. Right now, check this out. And I for anybody who was on Morning Elevation, you know I went over this. This is the triangle of success, right? So just draw a little triangle on your page, right? And if this is your second time hearing it, even better, because the clarity is going to be there much, much more, right? At the top, you're going to put RV. You're going to put RV, right? And that's called right vehicle. Right vehicle, right? RV at the top of the triangle is called right vehicle. Before I get into something, I don't know about y'all. Before I got into this, I said, I looked at it. I said, okay, I just want to come in and be a student. When I first came in. When I saw people earning residual income, I said, wait a minute. There's some extra money here that I ain't know about. There's some extra money here. Then I had to ask myself, is there a high demand for what I do? And I realized, I was like, wait. Nah, people got to know how to make money off their phone. People got to know how to make money off their laptop. Time out. I just funded this account with $50 and I took it to $120 pressing buttons. I'm like, this is a high demand. It's a high demand. So I realized, okay, is there a high demand for what I do? Yes. So I'm in the right vehicle. Bottom left, you're going to put RK, right? And that stands for right knowledge, right? Right knowledge, right? The reason why that's very key is because the right knowledge, right, usually is correlated to skills, right? There's two types of knowledge, right? There's general, just general, like I gotta know how the back office work, I gotta know how the go live works, I gotta know how the academy works, like general knowledge, right? General skills, general marketing, general inviting, general the PS3, the guys, if you only know general knowledge, check this out. It's one, you should know, but two, you only can hit Platinum 600 if you only have general knowledge. Now, number two, special knowledge. Special knowledge. I was like, hold on. I came in, I knew first couple months, even the first year, general knowledge, and then I started to expand with special knowledge. Do I know my business the way I should know my business? Like, do I know how to leverage? Do I know all the tools and resources? I mean, like to the T. Do I know what I have? Do I know how to use it? Because it's one thing about talking about impulse, but it's another thing about showing somebody how to use it. It's one thing in talking about swipe coin scalper, but it's another way to go ahead and show them. Like general, like you don't really know how to use it, you just know the general stuff. But the specialized knowledge, you go above and beyond where you know how to use it. Do I know how to use Cloner X, DMX? Do I know how to use Swipe Coin, the app? Do I know how to use it? Right? Very, very key. So you need two to be able to go to that next level, and you want to showcase that. Showcase what you know. Right? You want to lead with something that you don't have to be there all the time. Because if like I pick anybody on this call, if I see Jacob on here, right? I pick Jacob and I'm like, yo, this is how you trade, or this is how you build your store. But I showed them my way on how to do it. When I leave, guess who they're gonna call? Tell me in the chat, who they gonna call if I just showed them my strategy? I'm just like, yo, this is me. This is how I do things. I'm gonna just show you. They're gonna call me. I realized that people in business, people that make a lot of money, talking about 7 figures, I'm not even talking about small little 6 figures I make. I'm not even talking about little baby numbers I make. I'm talking about 7, 8 figures, millions. They got systems. They got things that they could plug you into so they don't have to be there. Talking about bands. Yeah, bands. If I plug you into Impulse, I show you how to use that. And I say, look, if you have any questions, go live. It's going to do that. And then if you have any more questions, your first point of contact is go live. Find the live session. I showed you the educators that's teaching it. Here's the recordings. If you have any questions, go through there. Stop, pause, play, pause, do that. Your second response is the group chat. It's always going every single day. Your third response is me. If you skip to 1, if you skip to 3, you're skipping steps. You're skipping steps. The reason being is because you want to allocate your time to work on your marketing. You want to allocate your time to work on your sequence of what you're doing on social media, because you can reach more people online than you can on foot. I got to get better with marketing. I got to get better with sales. I got to get better with my call to actions. I got to have a job form. I got to have a calendar ready for somebody. I got to have a chat ready to put somebody in. I got to be ready to go ahead and get the call to action to get it right. Right? Now, the reason why that's key, right? The reason why that's key, right, is because it's 3 things that you need, right? Because I want you to know, if this is not right, oh, I forgot to get, why you ain't tell me I forgot the last corner? You ain't tell me I forgot the last corner. I'm in. I'm in. The right side corner is RY, the right you. The right you. Right? If you don't have the right you, none of the other things can happen. None of the other things work. You have to have the right you. The right you. What does the right you means? It means that my mind, my habits, and my character is right. My mind, my habits, and my character is right. My mind, my habits, and my character is right. My mind, my habits, and my character. If my don't you ever heard somebody and just drop a 4 in the chat and it could have been you, right? It could have been you too, right? If you know somebody or even yourself, it's like, yo, like I gotta get my mindset right. So I gotta like take maybe a day or two. It's cool though. Like I'm not coming at nobody. We all have to sometimes take that self-care day for ourselves. Right? If you know somebody, or maybe that was you, shoot, you know people who do that. That's not even in our community. They're just like, I gotta get. I was on social media for a whole month. I had to get my mind right. They can't perform the way they want to perform, right? If something is hijacking their mind. Mind got to be right. Habits. Go ahead and get right in any business if you don't perform the right habits. Habits, and then the right character. If you don't do it with the right character, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Right. And the reason why I say this is because there's also 3 things that you need to be successful. Number 1, you got to have a goal. If you don't have a goal, you don't have a target. Number 2, you got to have a vehicle. Most people got a goal, no vehicle. They're like, yo, my goal is to one day, I wanna help retire my parents. My goal is to create generational wealth. And you like, all right, cool, got you. So what you doing? What you doing? And they're like, well, right now I work at Burger King, but soon I'm working on other stuff. I'm working on other jobs and stuff. About to work at Chase Bank, and then after I'm gonna do stuff at Chase Bank, and then I'm gonna apply for here, and then you like, okay, they got the goal but no vehicle. What's your vehicle? What's your vehicle? Because I know at the job when I know whoever filled out an application, everybody here has filled out an application for a job before. So don't act like you never did before, right? Even including myself. They put, how much do you want to make? I realized that like I always used to put what I know they pay in that range. I never used to put like $1 million or something because obviously they're gonna look at me crazy. But at least here, when we ask you how much you want to make, I'm cool with an extra 1,000. No. Like, don't put a cap on it. How much you really want to make? All right, bro. I want to make $25,000 a month. 25,000, bro, cash. You like, all right, bro. That's easy. Well, it's not easy. It's simple. You just got to go do this. At least we got something that you could do to eventually obtain that. You know what I mean? So you need the goal, you need the vehicle, and the last one is you need the driver. Peep this though, as I'm about to end this whole thing, right? As I'm about to end this whole thing. Peep this. Sometimes you got to go get in the passenger seat, and sometimes you got to let God drive. Then Like if you've been driving the vehicle for a while and you haven't been going nowhere, like you ever been in a car with somebody who's driving and you're in a passenger seat, you like, where we going, son? Like we just been going in circles. What's good with your GPS? Nah, I know where I'm going. I know where I'm going. Nah, bro, we've been in the car for mad long. What's going on? You might be driving the vehicle right now, and you need to go get in the passenger seat. You need to go get in the passenger seat and let God drive. Put the GPS on, and you're gonna get to your destination at some point. You ever seen a driver, the type of driver that's just like, yo, stop telling me where to go. Like, I know where I'm going. Like, you just sit back, relax, and I'm gonna get us to the destination. I know where I'm going. I bet. Passenger princess. Right? They just overprotect. Sometimes they just overprotective. They just like, yo, you almost hit them, bro. Now I know where I'm going, bro. I know how to drive, bro. I've been doing this for a minute, bro. Trust me. I know what I'm doing. So you need a gold vehicle, you need a driver. All right. You need those things, guys. Very, very key. All right. Please don't forget those things. Please, please don't forget that. I hope that you guys review your notes. I hope that you guys like because if you don't use the notes, it's almost as if you weren't even here. Right. And I want you to start picturing what would my life look like if it's fulfilled? What would a fulfilled life look for me? Like really start thinking about it in vivid details. Like that's your homework. Matter of fact, that's your homework. That's the homework. What does your life look like in full detail in the next 5 years? In the next 5 years, what does your life look like fulfilled? In vivid detail. Like I'm talking about detail to the point where it's just like, yo, I know like I'm gonna be traveling every month. We're gonna go here in 5 years. I expect to go to 20 plus countries. 5 years, I expect to have this, that. Like really start picturing that. And then every day just start picturing it. Because I tell you right now, the information that we get on a daily basis, knowing now, it's not enough. Knowing is not enough no more. Because there was people who told me about, yeah, bro, it's crazy, bro. I could have gotten into Bitcoin around 2011, bro, but I just didn't do it. So I know knowing is not enough. Knowing and not doing is not knowing at all. You got to start to implement these things. You got to start to implement these things. You got to start to implement these things like vision casting. What's my vision look like? What's my vision look like? What's my vision look like? Right? What's my vision look like? Over and over. What's my vision look like? When you holding on to your vision and you see it vividly and you know it in details and you got to figure out, okay, what people do I need in my life to get me to where I need to go? There's going to be a certain amount of players that you need in your space. Maybe you need somebody who's good at organization. Maybe you need somebody who's good at, maybe you need 2 or 3 people who's really good at the investing space. They get it a lot more than you. Shoot, guys, I want to bring in people who are better than me. I'm going to be honest with you. I want to bring in people who are better than me. I want people to be better than me. I do. And I didn't get that at first. At first, people would just be like, yo, you want to bring in people who are better than you. And I was like, no, I don't want nobody to be better than me. No. No, I used to say that. I'm just giving you out I'm just giving you out a game. I used to say, no, I don't want nobody to be better than me. They could be like me. We could be the same, but better than me? No, because I'm always gonna keep working. And I had to realize I didn't have perspective of that specific thing they were saying. And now in this season, I'm like, dang, I need more people who are better than me. I need more people who are better than me. You got to be okay with that. You got to be okay with that. I'm just like, man, I need people who are better than me. Right. I heard this last part, right? This is the last thing I'm gonna end you guys. I'm gonna end you guys with this. All right, I'm gonna end you guys with this. I heard, I don't know exactly who I heard say this, but I've been on so many Zoom calls, so I heard this before. I don't know exactly who said it. Whoever, if y'all know the person who get quoted for this, cool, get him the credit. I just don't remember. But the one thing I heard was you got to get amazing, not just good, but you got to get amazing at moving people without touching them. And I was like, okay. As soon as I understood that perspective, I said, I want to apply that to everything. I want to apply that to my friendships. I want to apply that. I want to get amazing at being able to move people without touching them. So I can help them make a decision. So I can make them, and now for your business, guys. I hope that you get this. Ask yourself this, and you don't have to ask you don't have to ask too many questions to many people who have success. Ask yourself this: does this give me more leads? Does this give me more phone calls? Does this help my people get more results? If it ain't those three, is if it ain't those three, don't don't feed into it. You need to be asking yourself those questions all the time. I hope that we have an amazing night. You look so tired. Oh no, I ain't tired, baby.